Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Alvita De Souza. I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Psychology of PES's Artisan College of Arts and Science, Farmagudi, Ponda, Goa. This course in psychology was created for the 5th semester. The paper I will be teaching you today is Statistics for Psychology. The title of the unit is Understanding Basic Concepts, and the module name is Variables and Scales of Measurement. This is your module 2. The outline of the lecture: we will be learning the types of variables, what are the different scales of measurement, and the differences in the various scales of measurement. What will we learn through this module? We will understand that there are different types of variables, and there are certain variables that are extremely important. Similarly, we will learn the 4 different scales of measurement. Finally, we'll be able to analyze the differences amongst the scales of measurement. So the types of measurement, we first have to understand the concept of a variable. So variable is a characteristics that takes on different values as compared to different individuals. For example, height. If I say I am 5 feet 7 or you are 5 feet 5, I am talking about a characteristic that is taking on a different value as compared to different individuals. So any characteristic that does this is called as a variable. Examples of variables are height, weight, marital status, whether you're married, unmarried, gender, male or female. Now, there are 2 types of variables. We have the discrete variables and we have the continuous variables. Let us go to see what's the meaning of a discrete variable and what's the meaning of a continuous variable. So a discrete variable is a variable that takes on certain values and there is no possibility of an in-between value. An example would be a party where there are 100 men present at that party. Now when 100 men are present, I can say that there are 100 men present, but saying that there are 100.5 men would be a statistical impossibility. So in this case, we see how the number 100 without any kind of point, this would indicate a discrete variable. So when we talk about numbers like 100, 90, 5, 10, or any number that in entirety it gives you a value without an in-between value, that is called as a discrete variable. Now this discrete variable is sometimes also called as a discontinuous variable. So synonymously it is used with the word discontinuous. Let us go to the second type of variable. The second type of variable is called as a continuous variable. The continuous variable just means that there is a precise or exact value which is most accurate for scientific testing. So say suppose I tell you I have a string of 4.52 meters. These 2 values coming after the point gives me a precise or exact value. Or if I say a person of 60.5 kilos, I am giving you a preciseness or exactness in my value. Similarly, a pharmaceutical drug company would have to be using precise or exact values, because if they add something that is of value that is more than required, it would create a difficulty with that composition. So therefore, a continuous variable is a scientific variable and it is used in most of the researches and all kinds of science. So I hope you all have understood what is the meaning of a discrete variable and what's the meaning of a continuous variable. We go to the next type, that is a constant. A constant refers to a certain value that can have only one fixed number. For example, the value of pi. We all know the approximate value of pi is around 3.14. So, can we change this value? We cannot change this value. Why? Because it is a constant. Now, constants have its advantages and it has its disadvantages. Like the disadvantage of a constant is that it limits the applicability. That is, we cannot use this value wherever we want. We can use it only at particular points and places. We can also use it in only certain sums or calculations, which cannot be generalized to all the sums or calculations. So this is one disadvantage of the value of pi, which is a constant. However, it does have some advantages. The advantages being it gives us a corrected value when we are doing any sum or any kind of experiment. So it has its advantages as well as it has its brickbats. Going to the types of measurement. The first type is called as a nominal scale. Now, it is very easy to remember what is a nominal scale because this word nominal comes from the word nom. Now, nom means name or number. So, any scale that you see that has a name, number or both is called as a nominal scale. An example of this would be your class list of roll numbers. We all know roll number 1, Rahul. Roll number 2, Priya. So, therefore, this type of scaling where there is name and number, this is called as a nominal scale. It is also the weakest type of scale because it does not have certain factors, which we will see in the next slide. So, nominal scale has a name and number, but it does not have any order. Order can be of two types. It can be ascending order or it can be descending order. But nominal scale has no order. If you all recall any class list, was there any order to it? I doubt it. Therefore, rank order just means that it has to be in ascending or descending order, which this scale does not have. Then interval scale refers to a fixed interval that exists. We will just draw a correlation with our regular intervals that we have in our colleges. So say suppose we have an interval break from 10:30 to 11 p.m. Sorry, that would be 10:30 to 11 a.m. So in such a case, what we do is that we measure this and this is exactly 30 minutes. Similarly, we may have another break that is from 1 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. So again, this nominal scale does not have any kind of interval. And finally, it does not have an absolute zero. That is, it does not have a zero at all. Going to the next scale, we have what is called as the ordinal scale. Now the ordinal scale, the word only tells you what it means. So there is an order to the scale. Okay, so this order can be ascending, that is it's going upwards, or it can be a descending order. So it refers to those type of scaling which some kind of rank is given. For example, if we have 6 students in a class and 6 of them have answered a maths test. Now the person who answered the best, I can give the first rank. Say suppose you're putting it on a scale over here. The person who gets a best score can be placed at this first point. And the person who gets a worst score, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, can be placed at this point. So therefore, it gives us some kind of order, either ascending or descending. Coming to the ordinal scale, these are again, it moves up in a hierarchy. So it has name and number, it has rank and order, but it does not have interval and it does not have an absolute zero. So let us go to a better type of scale. So this is called as the interval scale. So the interval scale is the one that has name or number as well as a fixed difference or interval. So now there is no difference at all between the interval. For example, if we try to compare 5th and 10th of August, okay, with 5th and 10th of July, the difference between these two are absolutely the same. To summarize, the interval scale has name and number, rank and order, and interval. And as I said, it keeps getting better. But it does not have an absolute zero. So the last type of scale is the best type of scale. Why? Because it has all these characteristics. So it has a name and number, it has an order, it has a difference as well as an interval, and it also has a zero. Okay, so this is the best type of scale. We have all stepped on a weighing machine sometime or the other, and we see how it has zero, it has certain indentations on it to show the scaling, that is 10 kilos, 20 kilos, 30 kilos, okay? And this is indicative of a ratio scale. The final scale is called as the ratio scale, and it is the best type of scale because it has name and number, it has rank order, that is an ascending and descending order, it has interval, and also it has a zero. So these are your references. You all can go through them for further reading. Thank you.